Hello and welcome to an episode of Local Analog. Today we are shooting something that has always really intimidated me. I've only shot it once or twice, and it has to do with these things. These are 4x5 film holders. I have 4 frames or 4 negatives that I'm going to shoot today. We're going to shoot some sunset on like the main downtown strip in Jackson. And the first thing we're going to do, like every good photo shoot does, is we're going to scout and find our best angle and see what we can come up with. So last time we did this was about 2 years ago, and I just put it down because it was just so intimidating. So excited to bring you an episode on 4x5 film, and come with me and let's learn this together. So right now I'm gonna just start by taking a few frames with the RZ67 and just kind of going from there, seeing how I'm gonna frame this shot. Obviously 4x5 and 6x7 are roughly similar, and so I'm able to frame it and see the shot in a smaller way. 4x5 with this particular camera, you compose the shot upside down under a black tarp, and so it takes a lot of time. So we're gonna start here, and the light's almost ready. So really want the light to drop behind that building, but before it does, I'm gonna take a shot of this building as we wait for this car to pass. We thought this time would be a good time because it's after work hours. It is quite busy. So I've already metering for the shadows just to be safe. 5.6. So I'm at 5.6 and 2/50th. Let's do one more of that same shot. So bright. Yeah, you gotta have a wider lens for a lot of this kind of stuff. I took it. Not my favorite image, but I took it. I think we'll just set up in the middle of the road and just let people go around us, because we're gonna have to kind of be bold in our approach. But yeah, the sun's too crazy right now, so we're not gonna be able to shoot it right now. I've learned my lesson from shooting straight into the sun. The flare is just not worth it. So we'll wait. It's okay, we're early. It's a good sign. It's a good thing. We're almost there. As soon as it tucks behind that Trustmark building, we're golden. Now I'm getting 255.6. I'll come get these last. So scary to deal with those. Literally negatives. All right. So we're gonna have to just commit to this and like set up in the middle of the street. I don't know what else we can do.
Are you trying to get straight on to the sun?
Yeah. I mean, I could just set up over there.
Yeah. That would look good.
Okay.
That way we won't have to move out of the way.
Looks like a mounted machine gun. So maybe for a lot of people watching, you've never shot with a 4x5 or any large format camera before, and maybe it's intimidating for you as it was for me. Still is for me, and you have no idea what you're looking at. It's easier than you think, but it still can be complicated. So you have so many steps that you have to follow, and the whole time you're trying to make sure you don't accidentally expose your film. You use those big 4x5 film holders, and you have to load them in the dark. Like you're literally, when you load a roll of film into your camera, your camera is encompassing all the film to keep it dark. But with that, the film is so big that you actually have to do that yourself. And so you put it in the film holder, then you put it in the camera. But before that, you have to, expose your shot and frame your shot. So it's just a lot of work. So you're gonna see that. And that's also another reason why I'm looking for one good shot. I'm not looking for 10 good shots. We're literally gonna wait for the light to get right, and then we're gonna take our shot. And then I have 3 more that we might go to the next street over and compose if the light remains like good enough. So don't be intimidated by it, but do understand that there are certain, there are different like precursors that you have to take before you can just jump into it. So this camera is a Sonar F1, I think, or F2 maybe. It's a monorail like view camera. So this is the kind of cameras that you would see like Ansel Adams shooting. Like that camera makes this camera seem like a compact like point and shoot. So many more steps to take. So we're getting close to our light. One more shot on this camera. The light's so nice. That grass, this is kind of silly, but that grass reminds me of Paris. I'm not gonna say anything more than that. It just reminds me of Paris. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna basically walk myself, essentially, but I'm gonna walk you through the step-by-step process that I take. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get an exposure. We're probably gonna take a shot in 10 minutes. And so the exposure is definitely gonna change, but I'm gonna go ahead and set it. With these cameras, you're not dealing with like your normal f-stops. You're dealing with like, this camera goes from 5.6 to f45. So I'm gonna choose 22, just because something about f32 just doesn't sit right with me. So I'm gonna choose f32. And then I'm gonna set my shutter speed, wow, to 4. So, but whatever happens, I'm gonna dictate my aperture by my shutter speed, because I don't wanna have to hold my shutter speed. I'm gonna I'll get it down to a second before I hold it. So, cause like basically with this thing, you can hold your exposure for 30 seconds if you wanted to, or you can just let it sit, but I'm not comfortable with that. I wanna just let the camera do the timing. So you have this button right here. This keeps any light from getting in. And so when you're loading your camera and you pull the dark slide out, you wanna make sure that this is shut so that light doesn't hit it. But the first thing you do is you're gonna compose. So we're about ready to shoot. So I'm gonna open it back up. I'm gonna get under here and I'm gonna compose the shot. If you ever have the opportunity to look under one of these things, you'll notice it's upside down. So you're actually gonna compose your shot upside down, which is by far the hardest thing about this system. So the first thing is I'm getting everything level. And we're level, good, okay. So clearly you'll spend all your time just doing this kind of stuff before you're actually ready to shoot. This is absolutely way too much. All right, it's level enough. And so now I'm gonna be under here, ignoring all of you people watching. We're about ready to take a picture. So let me go ahead and just frame the shot before I lose sight of it. All right, I'm in focus. So with these cameras, you can actually tilt the bellows up or down, and the original tilt shift mechanism. So you can actually tilt it. So I'm gonna tilt it slightly and see if that got me off the ground a good bit. So I don't have to focus on the ground. And then I'm using this just to fine tune my focus. See if you can get under there and just kind of show them like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, right there. I might flip it in the edit.
That's cool, yeah. Composing the shot is the hardest part. We're about there. I've got my crosshairs in the middle of the frame. Thought you were a stranger walking up and I was literally about to get ready. I've got the shot composed. I think we're probably gonna take a couple just to be safe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another reading at f32. I'm showing my shutter speed to be at 4. I'm actually gonna rate this at 200. I'm gonna go down to f22 now. Shutter speed is at 4 seconds. If you look at the shape of it, you see how the back is a little bit this way and this is back. So I'm actually trying to get the buildings to be straight. And so the first step we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and insert our first slide. I'm gonna close the shutter here so that no light gets in. I'm gonna load my film. Yeah, that's good. All right. Yeah, it's loaded. We're about to run out of light. Then I'm gonna make sure that's not covered up like a freaking dumb. Get my cable release ready. The camera is wound. F22, correct. All right, scary. Okay. And then I'm gonna hit expose. That's it. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna do the other side and I'm gonna overexpose this one. So I'm actually gonna recompose the shot right, safely put this up right here. So we're gonna hit another exposure. I'm gonna drop down to F16, take a reading. 16 with 8 seconds. So we're losing light very quickly, very quickly. So I'm gonna turn off the shutter, and you'll notice that this time I've changed my bellows to be more straight. So this is gonna be a straighter shot. So you might see some fluctuation in the distortion of the buildings. So that's the thing about these cameras, is that, you know, you can change that kind of stuff without having to get like a fancy lens to do it, like with digital cameras. I wish they would just go, they're a cop. My film's just chilling in there, like.
Getting exposed.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it back. Please, Jackson lights. All right, here we go. Right, no cars, here we go. The wind up and the pitch. All right, now we're gonna remove this safely, make sure it's locked, and we're gonna actually walk to the street to get a better shot, and we're just gonna like let cars pass us because it's worth it. We gotta hurry because the light's leaving us. All right, I'm gonna take this back out so I can compose the shot. Please. I just say we're doing this for the city. With stuff like this, people just assume you know what you're doing. I'm trying to hurry here.
You look hilarious.
When we did this at Red Bluff, I didn't have to do as much focus because it was just like, everything was just kind of the same, you know? You can film me from the sidewalk if you feel uncomfortable. It's so like complicated. Gonna take a reading, 1/2 second shutter speed. I'm gonna wait till this car passes before I remove it. I wonder if like people think we're like survey engineers, you know? 3, 2, 1.
Boom.
It's a really good feeling. All right, we're gonna do one more exposure. I'm gonna get a little closer. I just think I'm seeing so much road and not enough sky. I want to see more sky, so I'm actually going to tilt this up. The beautiful thing about this is if you tilt up, you could then just turn your bellows to make sure you don't lose your angles, which is like exactly what a tilt shift lens does. You just have to go with your gut on these things. It's hard to say. Okay. If I just saw a car run me over from this angle, I don't know if I could ever like get over that. It's kind of nice being under there because like no one knows who you are. I always wish that like I could put on a different face and then go photograph my hometown and nobody would know who you were. And then you would like not feel as like weird, because then you run into like your wife's like family friend and you have to explain what you're doing. And it's like the worst feeling. I'm just out here taking pictures. Hey, F16, 1/2 second still. Okay, so in our video on Red Bluff, I just exposed it for like, I think I did 5.6, which is like taking a landscape photo at like 1.4. Like, it's so stupid. Like, nothing was in focus. Dude, look at this. The camera is literally angled up, but then it's not. I'm sure somebody on YouTube is gonna be like, you know, it'd be sick if we could go get a drink after this.
I'm down.
Well, it's closed. All right, well, I'm gonna wait for these cars to pass. Tons of Range Rovers. It's kind of funny though, like what does it say about downtown Jackson that you can do this? Imagine like sitting on like Broadway in New York City, or like name any busy street, and like just chilling in the middle. You get like freaking mauled. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, stop moving. 3, 2, 1. Heck yeah. So I'm doing one more picture because I have one more picture left on the RZ. And I just figured I'd throw it on the tripod and maybe grab like a longer exposure of this shot here. Oh, it's so much easier. It is different though, because with this shot, I'm not able to fix my distortion. Yeah, I'm gonna move up because I don't like this red light in my shot. All right, F8. I'm gonna check my exposure one more time. Did that car have to park right there? No, please. And he's just gonna, I bet he's just like chilling. Like I bet he's probably going to his like fancy law office. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna have to go for it because he's gonna be gone for like 2 hours. Dark slide. 3, 2, 1. Wait, there's a guy walking across. I'm gonna try to get him. 3, 2. Dude, why won't it fire? 3, 2. 3, 2. All right, 3, 2. I'm gonna let these cars pass. No, I'm not. 3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Feeling pretty good about that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love shooting 4x5 every time I get a chance to do so. As you can see, I'm not super experienced with it, so feel free to ask any questions or throw out any feedback that you might have as far as the workflow of shooting 4x5. And don't forget to check out the Local Analog podcast. You can see it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.